For the first 2 billion years of its existence, the second planet from our Sun was a temperate world, covered in deep, liquid water oceans. It possessed a stable climate engine, a protective atmosphere, and a rocky crust. In terms of sheer mass, physical size, and overall density, it was nearly a perfect mechanical match for our own planet. Because of these extreme physical similarities, early planetary scientists operating in the mid-20th century assumed this neighboring world was a lush, habitable environment hidden beneath a thick layer of clouds. Venus operated in perfect mechanical harmony for eons. It was Earth's true twin, a fully functional machine. Its current hostile state is a tragedy of physics rather than an inevitability of planetary formation. The breakdown of that machine started with a single external variable, the aging of our Sun. As stars age, their baseline luminosity increases, pouring more thermal energy outward into the solar system. This chart visualizes incoming stellar flux. Over time, rising thermal input pushed Venus to its physical limits, breaching a critical threshold, the Runaway Greenhouse Effect. Accumulating greenhouse gases block outgoing thermal radiation, creating a closed loop where the planet continuously heats itself. The death of this world didn't require a sudden asteroid impact or an abrupt geological cataclysm. It was dismantled by a slow, mathematical inevitability driven by the shifting output of our star. Crossing that thermal limit triggered an immediate and violent physical reaction. The global oceans began to heat uncontrollably, boiling off the surface entirely. All of that evaporated water flooded the atmosphere. Because water vapor is highly effective at trapping infrared radiation, this massive injection only tightened the thermal trap, accelerating the heating cycle even further. The extreme surface temperatures forced this vapor higher and higher, pushing it into the upper layers of the atmosphere, where it was exposed to direct, intense ultraviolet sunlight. Here, photolysis took over. The ultraviolet light acted like a molecular scalpel, splitting the heavy oxygen atoms from the lightweight hydrogen. Freed, the hydrogen atoms reached escape velocity, vanishing into space, permanently deleting Venus's water. Without a hydrosphere to act as a thermal regulator, the planet's primary cooling mechanism was shattered. Venus was now locked into a one-way trajectory toward becoming a furnace. The loss of the oceans caused a secondary mechanical failure deep underground. Without water to lubricate tectonic plates, the planet's internal carbon recycling machine ground to a total halt. The crust locked up, but the intense heat remained. This triggered massive CO2 outgassing, a geological breakdown where the unrelenting surface temperatures literally bake carbon dioxide right out of the planet's rocky crust and expel it straight into the sky. This outgassing choked the atmosphere relentlessly. Today, the air consists of 96% carbon dioxide, hovering over a completely desiccated, fractured crust. The modern surface consists of massive, flat volcanic plains, baking eternally under a dim, heavy, and toxic orange haze. The sheer volume of this gas generates a surface pressure 90 times greater than what we experience on Earth. Standing on the surface of Venus is mechanically equivalent to being crushed beneath 3,000 feet of ocean water. Meanwhile, the trapped thermal energy maintains a constant ambient temperature of 460 degrees Celsius, or 860 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough that a solid bar of heavy metal like lead will simply yield to the air and melt into a liquid puddle. Present-day Venus is a mechanically dead world, completely sterilized and entombed by the exact systems that once sustained its temperate environment. This stagnant purgatory will remain locked in place for the next few billion years, until the Sun exhausts its hydrogen core and enters its red giant phase. As the dying star swells in size, it will unleash a ferocious solar wind. This intense stream of charged particles will act like a physical sandblaster directed squarely at the inner planets. The heavy, toxic carbon dioxide atmosphere will be violently stripped away into deep space, leaving Venus as an exposed, naked rock. Finally, the star's photosphere, the extremely luminous, visible surface layer of the Sun, will push outward into the Venusian orbital path. The expanding photosphere will physically engulf the naked planet. The thermal intensity will melt the crust into lava before eradicating it completely. This solar engulfment represents the inescapable final mechanism of planetary death. ensuring the complete and permanent erasure of the Venusian machine. The timeline of Venus acts as a graveyard of climate mechanics, offering hard data on exactly how planetary systems fail. The broken mechanisms over there are governed by the same laws of physics operating on Earth today. Thermodynamic limits apply universally. Venus serves as a definitive, chilling proof of exactly what happens when a world's delicate physical systems are pushed past the point of no return.